on Ganymede! Boom, boom, boom. So let's talk about Ganymede, which is a light 2 to 4 player drafting game where players are recruiting colonists on Earth and then shipping them from Earth to Mars and then Mars to Ganymede and then from Ganymede into the big yonder. If you haven't already seen it, I've done a how to play video on the rules of Ganymede, so you can check that out. Link is on the screen now. So I'm going to start off with a cold-hearted, abstract, deep, like looking through a telescope into the vast sky of stars kind of technical review of what you're actually paying for. So number one, the components. The components are solid. They're good quality cards, they are very sturdy boards, and they are your traditional kind of meeples, although they seem a little bit smaller than normal. Sticking with the small theme, either the box is too big for the components or the components are too small for the box. They don't seem to be balanced that well. But the components are functional. The artwork is functional. The iconography is functional. You don't need to speak Klingon to play this game. Because the game is all icons, you just need a rulebook, and that rulebook could be a multilingual rulebook, which is a bonus. The rules are about 9 pages long, and it's a very light read, and you'll pick up the game quite easily from just reading it one time. The artwork is consistent, and I find it quite attractive, but I'm not supposed to talk personally about the game, but it's all this kind of very kind of retro kind of spacey computer game graphic. The mechanisms in the game are very straightforward and very simple. You're just drafting stuff from a pool of actions and then you're performing those actions. And the game itself is simple. You're trying to get stuff from A to B and that will give you points. So all in all, if you're just going into this game totally fresh, everything about this game works. It's a technically it's a 9 out of 10. As I said, the component size and the box size don't match up. The rulebook could do with a little tweaking as things seemed a little bit out of place. But apart from that, it's a very good product. But how do I feel about this game personally? Well, you know the saying, in space no one can hear you scream. In this game, no one can hear you scream. With games of this kind of ilk, there's always that someone that goes, you've taken the thing old bloody wanted. But you don't get that so much in this game. And that's due to the fact that there's lots of actions that you can do. Let's talk about the actions in depth. The recruitment tiles are very simple. You take one and it gives you some stuff. You take another one which resembles the first one, you get bonus stuff. This is all very, very powerful, and these are the kind of actions you're going to be doing very regularly through the game, and it works. The more harder actions are taking the Earth and the Mars cards, because you have to get the requirements that are on those cards in the right place at the right time to be able to take those cards. And that's where the interaction totally is in the game. It's in this pool, and that's about it. You're not really looking at the other players' boards. You might be saying, oh god, they're going to take that card next because they've got those two there. But it's very light. And what makes this game really, really fluffy and light is the third action. This is such a great action to have. If you're ever stuck, which you won't be in the game, you go with the third action. Get rid of those recruitment tiles and just do whatever you want. The shuttle cards that will gain you the points at the end of the game are kind of a guide to how you're going to play the game, because they have scoring mechanisms on them which you will aim for. Whether it be getting a lot of one type of card or whether it be getting a lot of type of a colonist. You thought a chustbuster was going to jump out at me there, didn't you? And that's what makes this game really enjoyable and light. It's just that it's not so brain burnery. You don't need to be a supercomputer like Hal, or you don't need to be a logical Vulcan like Spock to enjoy this game. Whereas games which are similar to this, like Splendor, you have to look at the end goal and how you're going to get there and then start planning your route as you go. Whereas in this, you only need to think about 1 or 2 steps ahead. And I think that makes it a very easy, accessible game there, and anybody can practically play this game. Space is the final frontier in this game. I wish the art on the cards was bigger. I wish there were bigger cards. I love the art. It's fantastic. You know, I'm going to save it all and put it on my computer. But I wish the cards were bigger. Although the game technically doesn't need the cards to be bigger because the icons are the right size and there's not really much on it. There's no big chunks of text. There's no need for it. So the cards are technically the right size, but I would have preferred them to be bigger. The iconography is simple. Once you've played the game once, it's, you know, you remember it for the rest of your life. You know, you could be frozen in carbonite and come out of carbonite and still remember what those icons mean. Now the theme is a little light, but it's there. You're shipping colonists into space. You're not really getting that kind of feeling that you're in charge of a corporation. You're just basically paddling several boats, or you're booking plane tickets to get people from England to Gen Con. Again, I was a little disappointed when I read the rules and it told you what each type of meeple did. You know, there was the scientists, there was the marketing, and there was the leaders. But you don't really feel that in the game. It is simply a shipping game, get stuff from A to B, and it works. Now, whether there's going to be an expansion where you're shipping some dangerous stuff, maybe some aliens coming involved, or maybe the roles of each of the meeple are important to get to a certain planet. Maybe there's some planets that you're trying to populate and it's a battle for populating a planet to get the most points. I don't know. It would add a bit more meat to the game. But as it is, it's light, it's fluffy, it's easy to get into. It's a Splendor, but a Splendor light. It looks beautiful, it plays simply, it plays rapidly as well, and there's no big head scratching moments because the actions are so versatile and so diverse. You will get into this game quite quickly. This is a board game that everybody who's not an astronaut can quite easily go into space with. It is a light, fluffy game, and I would recommend it to anybody. Therefore, my Board Game Geek rating is an 8 out of 10, which means that it's a good game, and I would recommend it. So there you go. If you combined my Board Game Geek rating with my technical score, my cold kind of hearted technical score, you're going to get an 8.5 out of 10, which is a pretty good game. And that is Ganymede. So, if you've enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you know someone that might appreciate finding out a bit more about this game, share this video with them. And if you want to find out everything that I've been getting up to in the board game world, with the videos, the reviews, and the blogs, and the music, you can go to BoardGamesEverybodyShould.com and check out everything that I've been doing there. So there you have it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will say ciao for now. And please, please, please remember not to serve Chestbuster Surprise at your dinner parties. Just sitting at the table next to